Have you ever tried to say no or set a boundary and then immediately afterwards feel guilty? Worried that you were being rude, selfish, or just mean? In this video, you'll learn how to stop people pleasing without feeling rude, without being harsh, and while still being kind. I'll walk you through 4 practical steps that can help you speak up and set boundaries without betraying your empathy. Hi, I'm Callie Sorensen. I have a master's in psychology and I help people break free from people-pleasing patterns. So first, let's talk about why this is so hard in the first place. Why does something as simple as saying no feel so intense, like you're being rude, selfish, or just not a good person? But here's the truth. That feeling isn't because you're actually being unkind. It's because your nervous system has been trained to equate honesty with danger. Somewhere in your past, saying no might have led to disappointment, rejection, guilt trips, conflict, or being labeled as selfish, difficult, or too much. So now, even when you're being calm and respectful, your system reacts like you've done something terribly wrong, even when you haven't. This is why people-pleasing isn't about being nice. It's about avoiding what feels unsafe, and why speaking up can feel like you're hurting somebody, when really you're just being honest. Once you understand that your guilt or fear is a learned response, not a moral compass, it gets easier to build new patterns that are both kind and boundaried. One of the biggest traps people pleasers fall into is thinking that they only have one of 2 options. 1, be nice, say yes, stay agreeable, and avoid conflict. Or the second option, be mean, say no, speak directly, risk upsetting somebody. And that's where so many people and a lot of my clients get stuck. We confuse honesty with cruelty. We confuse boundaries with rejection. But here's the truth. You're allowed to be both kind and clear. You can speak your truth without having to apologize for it, and without being cold, rude, or selfish or mean. Because it's not rude or mean to say, I don't have the capacity for that right now. I need some space tonight. That sounds really important, but I'm going to have to pass this time. It's not mean to share what you're feeling and needing, even if it disappoints somebody. It's real, it's human, it's honest, and it's how healthy relationships are built. When people say, just stop people pleasing, it can feel like your only other option is to be blunt, disconnected, or harsh. But again, that is not the goal. The goal is to stay connected with yourself while still respecting others, to bring your full, authentic truth into your relationships, not just a version of you that you think will keep the peace. Because over time, that kind of self-silencing leads to burnout and quiet, built-up resentment. You're so worried about being mean and rude to others that you don't even notice that you're actually being mean and rude to yourself because you're abandoning yourself and what you feel and need. So now I want to talk about the 4 steps that can help you stop people-pleasing and set boundaries in a way that feels both clear, respectful, and compassionate to both yourself and to the other person. Step 1, pause before you respond. Most people pleasers just say yes out of reflex right away, really quick, sometimes before they even know what they want. This can be the hardest step because it can feel so scary or even wrong to not respond right away, especially if you're used to managing other people's reactions or emotions. But here's the truth. You don't have to give people an immediate answer. Whether it's a text or an in-person ask, creating a little space can make a huge, huge difference. So if it's over text and email, try this. Don't respond immediately. Just give yourself permission to pause. Give yourself permission to sleep on it or just wait a few hours. If it's in person, try saying, hey, I got to check my schedule. I'll let you know by tomorrow. Or, that's a great question. Let me think about it. Or, I want to be thoughtful about this. Can I circle back later? That simple pause is powerful. It gives your nervous system time to settle, and it gives you space to access what your truth actually is. And this leads us into step 2. Check in with what you feel and need. So once you've created space with a pause, the next step is to turn inward and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What do I need in this moment? For people pleasers, this can feel really unfamiliar, especially if you're used to scanning for what others are feeling, anticipating what they want from you. But this is actually where this clarity can come from. You can't make honest decisions if you're completely disconnected from yourself and you don't even know what you feel or need. So for example, let's say a friend invites you out. Instead of using your usual reflexive yes, you pause, you check in, and you might realize, wow, I'm feeling exhausted and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And actually what I need is rest, not more stimulation. Suddenly the answer becomes clear, not because you should or shouldn't go, but because you've reconnected with what is true for you. The goal here isn't to justify your decision, it's to actually know what your body and emotions are telling you. If identifying your feelings and needs are challenging, that's totally normal. I created a free feelings and needs cheat sheet to help you practice this step. You can download it using the link in the description below. Step 3, share your feelings using clear, compassionate language. So once you've checked in with yourself and you know how you actually feel and what you need, the next step is expressing that clearly and kindly. This is where a lot of people pleasers get stuck because you might worry, if I say how I really feel, will they be upset with me? Will they think I'm selfish or cold? But here's the truth. You can be honest and caring. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you have to sound harsh, detached, or distant. Here are some ways that you can express yourself with both clarity and compassion. Man, I wish I had the bandwidth, but I'm feeling really depleted right now and I need to recharge. That sounds great, but I need to pass this time because I need some rest tonight. Oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. I can't tonight, but I appreciate you asking. Boundaries with kindness are still boundaries. You don't need to over-explain. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to justify. You just need to speak your truth, share your feelings, or you can share your needs from a place of self-respect and know that that is enough. Step 4, anchor into self-respect, not guilt. Even after you've paused, checked in, and spoken your truth with care, you might still feel guilty. That doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. It means your nervous system is adjusting to a new way of being. It is learning that you matter too. For people pleasers, guilt is often the echo of old conditioning. If I disappoint someone, I failed them. If I don't help, I'm selfish. If I put myself first, I'm a really bad person. But those messages aren't facts. They're old survival strategies and protective patterns that you picked up to stay safe and connected. So instead of asking, did I upset them? Or am I being selfish and rude? Try asking yourself, am I honoring my feelings and my needs in this moment? Am I doing this because I want to or because I'm afraid not to? If someone I love made this choice, would I support them? And here's a really helpful one. If someone I cared about told me the exact same feelings and needs, how would I respond to them? Chances are you'd be kind. You wouldn't label them as rude or selfish or a horrible person. So why do that to yourself? Your boundary voice is a muscle. If speaking up feels clunky, awkward, or shaky, that's okay. That's normal. Like any muscle, your boundary voice gets stronger with use. You're not becoming rude. You're not turning into somebody cold. You're not a narcissist. You're becoming honest, sovereign, self-respecting. And that's a version of you worth building trust with. You have to keep practicing, keep pausing, keep listening inward, keep tuning into your feelings and your needs. Every time you do, you're building safety inside of your body and rewriting the story of how you relate to others. So if you've ever felt like setting boundaries makes you selfish or that saying no means you're being rude, I hope this helped you see that it doesn't. People pleasing isn't about being too nice. It's a survival pattern wired deeply into your nervous system to keep you safe, connected, and accepted. Your nervous system got trained to prioritize others' feelings and needs over your own in order to feel safe. But here's the good news. You can unlearn people-pleasing. You can speak your truth and still be kind. You can honor your needs without guilt, without shutting down, and without betraying who you are. You don't have to choose between being kind or being honest. You're allowed to be both. So if you want more tools to help you reconnect with your voice, your body, and your boundaries, hit the like and subscribe button and download the free Feelings and Needs cheat sheet below in the description. Also, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's the hardest part about saying no for you? Let's talk about it because, again, you're not alone in this.